July, so it's halfway across the growing season. So I believe it's time to make an evaluation to see how my orchids are doing from the growth point of view. Some orchids are still in bloom, as you can see here, but others have not bloomed. That is the case of this Oncostel Geyser Gold, which I bought last year. I believe it was January. It was blooming with the most awesome, the most amazing yellow flowers, but it has not bloomed ever since. However, she has put on several new growths. However, none of them has matured enough to bloom, which I find a bit odd. Maybe she's not feeling very well. I wonder if this is a sign of stress. So I keep watering and I keep feeding. I've changed the setup. It's now in hydroponics, and we will see next year. This one here never bloomed. I bought her when she was very, very small. She had no tag. I suspect this could be a Miltonia, or rather a Miltoniopsis, for the color of the leaves. It has pushed a few growths. I was hoping she would bloom this year, but instead she has put another growth here. Well, she's also in hydroponics this year, changed it to this one, and maybe she will bloom next year. We have to give her time. These are the ones I have inside because they seem to like it cooler. Let's go outside and see the other ones. Oh, but before we go, I want to show you my Neophanetia falcata. Let's bring her out of her teapot where she usually stands. My Neophanetia falcata is doing well. She is growing slowly but surely. She is growing a new fan over there in the back, and then here it seems to be growing a spike, but we'll still have to wait a long time to make sure it is a spike. I think it's a spike because although it looks so much like a new fan, but I think it's a spike. It could be a spike because it's growing not from the base of the leaf but from the axil of the leaf. Let's wait and see. Let's start on this corner out here outside. Here I have my Colmenara Wildcat. She's still in bloom but just finishing, and she has a new growth. This is hope for next year. And also my Bretonia, also a new growth, although she still has some blooms. It's blooming for quite a while now, and they still smell very nice scent. And then over here I have a few dendrobium and also my epidendron. My epidendron is growing a few new growths, or everything all right with it. And in the main, these Dendrobium nobile are going fine. New growths. This one too has good new growth, and two more here. There you go. This one going very well too. And these ones are my Dendrobium phalaenopsis type, which this year don't want to bloom. I don't know why. This one is pushing new growth, but last year only this one here, but it's big enough to bloom, but nothing so far. And this one has put this big growth here. No, not this one. This one is the new one, but it has something on top, but for quite a long time, and it's doing nothing. But it's pushing a new growth. That's the first this year. There you go. Yeah. This one here is Dendrobium berryoda. It's doing fine. It pushed a lot of keikis because last year I gave it too much sun during the summer, I guess. But it's growing fine. Lots of new growths. And I have a few keikis here getting used to humidity on the roots. Here I have my mini twinkles, which are getting quite big. I have the white and the yellow and the orange, and they are doing just fine. My phalaenopsis I had in glass vases inside. The hybrid ones were put in hydroponics, less work, and they seem to be doing just fine. New leaves, new roots, nothing to worry about. Here I have a few cattleyas that went down during spring. And the thing is that they went all right during winter. They were in stone, but then when spring came, I think I didn't water enough, and many roots dried, and some other cases. And these ones have recovered. They have quite a good set of roots already. And they liked hydroponics. They really liked it. And these ones here, they are on their way, and they are going fine with lots of roots and new growth. Here I have my only bulbophyllum, and it's doing great with 2 new growths here and here as well. And here I have my zygopetalum. It's quite small, but it's not really a zygopetalum, it's a zygolum. It's a smaller hybrid, but it didn't bloom either this year. I bought her last year in bloom, but it has not bloomed ever since. It had a setback last year in the summer. I guess it was being with too much light. And so I lost a few roots, but it's doing quite well now. But it's not flowering this year for sure. Maybe next year. It has good new roots. Well, let's see. how my Zygulum. This came with the tag Zygopetalum Rhine Harlequin Select, but I found out this is, as I said, a Zygulum. It's a hybrid with a smaller feature, which is good. And then over here I have my mounts. They are doing fine except for this one. This is the one I ordered from Orchid Garden, one of the sets, and it's doing absolutely nothing. But I don't think it's dead, so I have to wait something. This is Dendrobium luteiflorum. Maybe I can reach the tag. I'll put the name on the screen. It's easier that way. The Phalaenopsis doing just great. Look at this one, my very first one, pushing roots upwards. And this one's still in bloom. This one's doing about fine. This one's still a bit dehydrated, but creating new roots. My Dendrobium lodigesi, or lodigesi, as some people say, it's growing just fine. And this is another one I bought from Orchid Garden, and this is Dendrobium crocatum. It is doing fine, I guess. It has pushed a new root over there, or is plumping up a root or something like that. No new growths, but this one, which the plant came with, is growing. It has put on 2 or 3 more leaves, and this one is longer as well, so it's not so bad. This one here is Dendrobium stardust. 2 plants here. This is one I bought last year, and which is doing absolutely nothing. That is, it pushed some new growths in the spring, but they are stalling and stalling. It pushed also a keiki, but it's not doing much. However, this plant I got as a present this year is doing quite well. It has grown. It has pushed 3 new growths here, but 2 of them faded. This one, however, is pushing new roots, so it's not so bad. This is the Dendrobium aphyllum. It's doing quite well. Luckily, it's growing, pushed new growth here, new growth there. It's doing quite fine, pushing new roots too. Here I have Dendrobium, I guess it's tortule. Yes, it's Dendrobium tortule. It's also one of the set that came from Orchid Garden, and this is the one that is doing the best. It's 2 plants, and they are growing quite well, pushing new roots, new growth, growing. The stems that were already, the pseudobulbs that he came with, are growing, and so far I'm happy with it. This is the one that is doing splendidly. I bought her in March, And this is Dendrobium flakery crossed with Kingianum. It has pushed 4 growths, and the plant is so strong and doing so fine, pushing new roots too. I'm so happy about it. And my Tolumnia, I had it at home during winter, and then it came out, and I've put it closer to the window over there, and she was not getting any sun, but even so, with more light, the leaves turn reddish. So I promptly put it here, and it took some weeks to the leaves to get green again, to green up again. It has pushed one fan over winter, but that one faded, turned yellow and faded, and then in the spring she pushed this one here, and she's now pushing new roots over there. And this is the other one, the other Dendrobium, the last one I bought from Orchid Garden. It's a very small plant. It's Dendrobium unicorn, and it is pushing 2 new growths here. But this part has separated from the other one, but well, it's pushing 2 new growths, which is good. And now I have the species, the Brazilian species. Let me pick them up, and so we can see how they are going. This is Laelia locasiana. It pushed this new growth, and this new growth is pushing new roots. As you can see, it took a while, but it has roots in the back as well, bigger, and I suspect it has roots under the moss. So go back to place. This is Laelia pumila. It has a few new growths. This one, and this one, this one, and still another one there hiding. And it has new roots too. Quite happy about it. Those are miniatures, as you know, and another miniature. I don't know if you remember, but last time I showed you this was sprouting 2 very fat roots. You can imagine my disgust when the 1 or 2 days after I filmed it, something had munched the top of the roots. And I don't know what it was. I looked everywhere. I didn't see any caterpillar so far. But anyway, it's growing. She's now growing new roots here, and she has new roots also inside the moss. Doing okay. This new growth she had is turning yellow, but it is yellow. It has been yellow for a long time. I don't know why. But in the meantime, this new growth is growing fine. So these 3 are the miniatures. And this is it. It's done. So some successes. Plant successes, because sometimes they are willing to leave, sometimes they are not. Like for instance, that one over there, in the same conditions and the same slab, in the same type of wood, which is cork wood, why one is growing so well and the other one isn't? So it has very much to do with the plant itself, her willing to live, her strength or not. I cannot help myself thinking that plants are so very much like us humans. After all, we are part of nature, like they are. Well, this is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed. Hope it has not been too boring for you. Oh, by the way, there they are, my Paphiopedon. They are growing quite well. They are pushing new growths, and the older leaves are growing. And my Ascocentrum too, blowing in the wind. So this is it for today. See you next time. Bye.